Dear distinguished guests, аса құрметті қонақтар, студенттер, енді бүгін біз осы әдеми ғимаратта жастарға арналған форумға жиналып отырмыз. Барлықтарыңызға қош келіңіздер деп айтқым келеді. Енді форум ағылшын тілінде өтетін болатын болса, енді тек қана осы бір-екі сөз қазақша айтып, қалғанын бәрін ағылшын тілінде болады. Енді барлықтарыңыз ағылшында судайсыңдар. Сонымен баяндамалы дискуссияда бәрі ағылшын тілінде өтетін болады. So, dear distinguished guests, dear students, future leaders, on behalf of my Al-Farabi University staff and 20,000 students, I would like to greet you here and welcome to Al-Farabi Kazakh National University. Let me introduce with our honorary guests, and they have found the time to visit us today and take part at our forum youth meeting. This is Angelina Yen. She is a vice president of Hong Kong Polytechnical University. Vlastimil Samak is a big friend of Al-Farabi University. He's a representative UN Department Information Center. And also Almasha, she is a representative of Kazakhstan Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And our friend Wang Zhenping, he is attaché of General Consulate of China in Almaty. And me, I'm first vice rector of Al-Farabi Kazakh National University. My name is Mukash Burkitbayev. So I would like to say that we are delighted that during this summer, our university campus bring together our friends from the University Alliance of Silk Road for the Silk Road Summer School and the Silk Road International Youth Forum. We are proud that we organize these important events jointly in the spirit of the University Alliance of Silk Road. Number one, joint activity in our summer school. This year we dedicated our joint summer school program to the study of the green energy. All our lectures have been painted to the green color, green economy, green finance, and etc. Today, the participants of the Silk Road Summer School will leave to Astana city to visit Nazarbayev University and the Astana World Expo 2017. The great idea to organize the Silk Road Youth Forum was initiated by Hong Kong PolyU. This year, we also organized the Silk Road International Youth Forum in Almaty as part of the Global Leadership Program, Future Life, Future Leaders. Our common future are dealing with sustainable development. President Nazarbayev of Kazakhstan said that the expo in Almaty, in Astana, dedicated to sustainable development is a brand of Kazakhstan. I would like to note that Al-Farabi Kazakh National University actively works in that direction and shows true global leadership. Firstly, Al-Farabi University is a global hub of United Nations Academic Impact Program on Sustainability. This status, of course, is a great honor for us, and at the same time, it is a huge responsible. Our activities of the hub is aimed at promoting knowledge about 17 Sustainable Development Goals. All our staff and the students are involved to that process. Our global hub have organized many events, conferences, workshops, seminars at the international, national, and regional levels. Secondly, Al-Farabi University suggested great global initiative titled Green Bridge Through Generation, the Role of Universities on Sustainable Development. Thirdly, Al-Farabi University suggested an innovative initiative to promote the global citizenship education, formation of citizens of a virtuous society. Fourthly, Al-Farabi Kaznu hosts 2 UNESCO chairs, the UNESCO chairs on journalism and the communication, and the UNESCO chair on sustainable development. Fifthly, Al-Farabi has launched the joint MDP classroom program on sustainable development in collaboration with the East Institute of Columbia University. Sixth, I am delighted to announce and to express our gratitude to Hong Kong Polytechnical University for hosting 5 students from Al-Farabi Kaznu for 1 semester in 2016. It is a great initiative in showing opportunities for academic exchanges on the Great Silk Road in the spirit of the University Alliance of Silk Road. As all the universities, we focus on showing the leadership and the teaching about leadership to our youth. Kaznu has a school of leadership headed by the University Students Committee. Students are involved in the more than 50 students' clubs according to their interests. In the 21st century, the youth should display many qualities, such as being a good citizen of a globalized community, being able solving all challenges, and being able to contribute into building peace and collaboration. Our universities should teach all those skills not only during the class time, but also at various extracurricular programs such as summer schools and other activities. I'm sure that forum participants will discover many things about Kazakhstan, learn about our system of education, and more importantly, those students should interact and network with other students, the future leaders. Let me express the hope that the proposed terms of the forum Future Life, Future Leader will contribute to building a sustainable and a lasting peace and the collaboration along the Silk Road for beyond. I wish all participants a successful and a fruitful walk. I wish you all success. Thank you. Let me give the floor to the Vice President of Hong Kong Polytechnical University, Professor Angelina Yen.
Hi, good morning. I think it's so exciting to see all these colorful students wearing colorful T-shirts here, attending this, as well as those not wearing T-shirts, to this youth forum. I'm really excited. I think, we are energized when we see you around. And I think today I'm extremely happy because we have this International Youth Forum on Future Life, Future Leaders. And I think this is an extremely important and milestone forum because it brings about students from Hong Kong, from China, as well as from Kazakhstan, and to this very important forum. And I think in future, when you look back, then you can see that you are the forerunner, you are the pioneers in this effort. And I hope that this effort will continue. So today we have actually different groups of students converging in this hall. And firstly, we have 45 students attending the Silk Road Summer School. You can see the logo here, the Silk Road Summer School. And actually this Silk Road Summer School was started in the year 2012 by Hong Kong Polytechnic University and Xi'an Jiao Tong University. It started in 2014. And then this is already the 4th year that we are running this Silk Road Summer School. And we are extremely happy that in the beginning, in the year 2014, we only have students from Hong Kong Polytechnic University as well as Xi'an Jiao Tong University. But this year, since 2015, when we have started this University Alliance of the Silk Road, then we started to invite students from Silk Road countries to join. So in the year 2016, we have invited students from Kazakhstan as well as Italy to join us. And this year, I'm really glad that we have students from 6, 7 universities joining us, and they are Al-Farabi National University, and then Nazarbayev University from Kazakhstan, and then Xi'an Jiao Tong University, and Beijing University of Technology, Capital Normal University of Beijing, Capital University of Economics and Business from Beijing, Xi'an Jiao Tong University, and of course PolyU. And so we are extremely happy that we have students coming from different countries and regions joining this very exciting forum. And besides the Silk Road Summer School, 45 students from Silk Road Summer School, we also have 64 students from the Global Youth Leadership Program that we are organizing. And in PolyU, we have started a Global Youth Leadership Institute. And the purpose of this institute is to train leaders who have global vision, but who are able to serve and are able to have passion for people in the grassroots. And so this year we have students from PolyU as well as from Peking University joining. And actually this group is very privileged because I understand that they have been to Inner Mongolia, Beijing, Israel last year. Earlier this year, and also Kyrgyzstan and now Kazakhstan. So I think we hope to groom these young people to become future leaders who are able to have global vision, who are able to have this cross-cultural understanding, as well as to have the ability to make your hands dirty and to serve the people, and to find solutions for problems that we encounter on the ground. So we welcome these 64 students, and in which there are 16 students who are joining the optometry service learning program, and also they were part of this Kyrgyzstan group. And finally, we also have students from the International Youth Congress who attended the International Youth Congress held in Hong Kong last month. And we have a group from Al-Farabi National University, and I think they were the winner out of over 100 groups, and they were chosen to be one of the 20 groups who presented during that forum. So we have a mixture of students from different groups and clusters. But I think most importantly is that all these students share a common vision. And I think these students, you are the ones who have the vision to serve. You have the vision to change the world. You have the vision to make a difference to the world. And I hope that by grouping you all together, even though you are from Hong Kong, from Beijing, from Xi'an, from Kazakhstan, from different countries and cities, I think you all have the common vision. And we hope that you can gather together today and in future to think of solutions to problems that are confronting the world. And we hope that you will be the leaders to change the world. You are not going to dominate, you're not going to just dictate people, but you are going to change through serving. And I hope that through the experience that you are having during the last month in different parts of the world, and you will be able to gradually nurture the spirit of change through positive change and finding solutions. And I hope that this is just the beginning of your networking, and I hope that in future you will come together to think of solutions. And we really hope that this is the beginning of a really long-term friendship. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Angelina. I'm sure that your words found a place at the head of the youth. And let me give the floor to the Vlastimil Samak, representative from United Nations.
Very good morning. Ni hao, salamat. Well, let me start from greeting the young people. Hello, students, because you are today or during this forum the most important part of it. Then, of course, respectable Professor Burkitbayev, the first vice rector of the Al-Farabi Kazakh University, Professor Angelina Yuan from the Hong Kong Polytechnic University, Alma Sharena from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Kazakhstan, and Mr. Wang Jingping from the Consulate General of the People's Republic of China, based here in Almaty. It's indeed great pleasure and honor to be here today with you, but we had actually a tremendous opportunity to think practically all of you last Friday at the United Nations office here in Almaty, and we had some sort of brief exchange. I've been talking about some, I would say, key issues and notes, so I'm not going to recycle the ideas, but perhaps I would just highlight a few moments. Let me start from a note which I think is relevant and is also kind of reflecting one of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, which are the key global agenda for 193 member states of the United Nations, and that's the gender equality. When I'm looking here at you today, I see that it's quite well represented, and also it's about the messengers of this gender equality. Just let me reflect two Angelinas. One is here with us today. It's Professor Angelina Yuan. Yuan is having Angelina Jolie, so I see also kind of this interesting momentum, which definitely I would like to stress and just use it as a good example that sometimes the things are actually quite impressive. Going back to the theme of today's meeting and the forum and your visit to Kazakhstan itself, the future life, future leaders, indeed, that's one of the most important things. It shouldn't be just a phrase or just taken for granted, okay, that you are the future of this world. It's a fact. You have to live with that. But there are certain moments that are usually not very much highlighted, but you should also kind of be aware of them. It's about the accountability and responsibility. And once, after you finish your studies and already being here today already, you're getting involved, you will be responsible for making this world a better place. You see that in the global kind of reflection, in the regional as well as the national reflections, world is facing a lot of problems, and usually it's about the leaders. It's about the leadership to find a way, to find not only the way how the diplomacy works, but to kind of approach one each other, let's say sometimes even unofficially, and try to solve the issues. And this is something what you are going to face, and that's something that perhaps is also the reflection of you being here today, representing 3 different universities from 3 different parts of China, capital Beijing, the kind of economic heart Hong Kong, and of course the ancient capital Xi'an. So you see 3 very different kind of messages, but all of them are relevant and are sending a very similar message, and that's the inclusiveness and your kind of intention to be involved. And as said on Friday, I don't like long speeches. I think we shall have a chance to have some sort of very kind of, I would say, unofficial the possibility to exchange the views unofficially. I mean, getting together during the coffee break. So let me stop here at this point, because you're not here to listen to long speeches. You are here more to kind of reflect your views and discuss. And I think that's the good reflection of views, and also that's something we should understand, and we should be in line or interconnected with you. So with that, thank you very much, Hishe.
So thank you very much, Vlastimil. And the next floor to Wang Jingping. He's a Consulate General of China in Almaty.
大家上午好。比如我去不接。尊敬的阿里·跑利北大学第一副校长布尔奇特·巴耶夫先生，尊敬的香港理工大学副校长远森元琪女士，尊敬的联合国公共信息署署长弗拉斯蒂米尔·萨米克先生，尊敬的哈萨克斯坦外交部驻阿拉木图代表处文化参赞阿玛阿列诺娃女士，尊敬的来自中国的各位同学们，大家上午好。
Руководитель представительства Департамента общественной информации ООН Центральной Азии господин Владимир Сами, дорогие советники представительства МИДа в городе Алматы госпожа Алма Ленова, дорогие прибывшие со всего Китая преподаватели и студенты, доброе утро.
我的专业呢是俄语，我的俄语自认为说的还比较好，但我的英语很一般。今天听到两位副校长如此流利的英语表达，我下定决心回去好好学习英语。
У меня профессия совета, однако мой русский язык не так уж хорош, и английский тоже, поэтому в следующем я подумаю усилить изучение русского языка.
我知道今天来的学生啊，有来自我们香港理工大学的学生们，招手说好吗？香港理工大学的同学们，哦，欢迎你们啊！北京大学的同学们，欢迎你们啊！北京理工大学的同学们，
科技大学。
北京科技大学的同学们 ，sorry, I'm sorry。西安交通大学同学们，西安交通大学，首都师范大学，首都师范大学同学们，哦，首都经贸大学同学们，再次欢迎你们啊！很高兴和大家相聚在美丽的夏日的阿拉木图，就未来的生活、未来的领袖这一主题进行交流。首先呢，请允许我代表中国驻阿拉木图总领馆，对本次论坛的举行表示热烈的祝贺，对新丝绸之路大学联盟高校青年学子的到来表示诚挚的欢迎。
Прежде всего, позвольте от имени Динконсульства Китая в Алматы выразить теплые поздравления по случаю проведения данного форума и сердечно поприветствовать прибывших молодых студентов Альянса университета «Шелковый путь».
中哈呀，互为重要的邻国。哈萨克斯坦呢，也是一带一路的首倡之地啊。是2013年，我们的习主席在纳扎尔巴耶夫大学演讲时提到了丝绸之路经济带建设这个倡议。同时呢，更是一带一路沿线的重要国家，在共商、共建、共享的原则基础之上，中国丝绸之路经济带建设与哈萨克斯坦的光明之路新经济政策成功对接，中哈两国在政策沟通、设施联通、贸易畅通、资金融通、民心相通等方面达成了广泛的共识，促成了一系列务实的合作成果。中哈已经成为休戚相关的利益共同体和命运共同体。
Впервые в 2015 году была выдвинута в университете Назарбаев. Китай и Казахстан являются важными соседями друг для друга. Казахстан – это земля, которая положила начало инициативе «Один пояс, один путь». Более того, является ключевым звеном для стран, лежащих вдоль пояса и пути. Следуя принципу совместной консультации, совместного строительства, совместного использования, успешно осуществлена состыковка строительства экономического пояса шелкового пути Китая с новой экономической политикой Казахстана на новый ложок. Обе страны достигли широких договоренностей, политической координации, взаимосвязи, инфраструктур, бесперебойной торговли, свободном передвижении капитала, сближении народов и других аспектах, получили целый ряд важных результатов в сфере делового сотрудничества. Китай и Казахстан уже стали делящими горе и радости сообществом единой судьбы и общих интересов.
习近平总书记啊，在访问哈萨克斯坦的时候啊，曾经引用了一句哈萨克斯坦谚语，说吹灭别人的灯会烧掉自己的胡子。这个生动表达了中哈两国荣损与共的深刻道理。
Председатель КНР господин Си Цзиньпин во время визита в Казахстан привел одну казахскую поговорку: «Задувая огонь других, можно поджечь свою бороду», образно выразив глубокую истину разделения радости и невзгод двух стран.
2017年是不寻常的一年，北京和阿斯塔纳成为了世界关注的焦点。在北京，我们成功举办了“一带一路”的高峰论坛、上合组织峰会和2017年世界专项博览会开幕式在阿斯塔纳顺利举行。不到1个月的时间中哈两国的元首2度会面。这表明了中哈两国关系的高水平和积极支持互相支持的这种力度。两国元首呢就加快“一带一路”和建设同光明之路新经济政策的深度融合，推动中哈两国关系在更高水平发展达成重要的共识，就双方下一步的这种重点对接合作的领域做出了规划。
2017 год – удивительный год. Пекин и Астана стали центром внимания всего мира. Пекин успешно провел международный форум сотрудничества «Один пояс, один путь». Успешно прошли саммит ШОС и церемония открытия Экспо 2017 в Астане. Менее чем за месяц главы наших стран встретились дважды, что показало высокий уровень двусторонних отношений и их активную поддержку. Лидеры двух государств достигли важного консенсуса в ускорении продвижения состыковки строительства одного пояса и одного пути с новой экономической политикой «Нурлу-Жол» и выведение китайско-казахстанских отношений на более высокий уровень развития. Совместно определили следующие ключевые направления состыковки и сотрудничества.
同学们，咱们那个新中国的缔造者我们的伟大领袖毛泽东主席在1957年11月在访问莫斯科大学的时候在莫斯科大学礼堂给同学们做了一个演讲。他说的一句话我不知道同学们有没有记得的。有没有知道的？他曾说过一段话，这段话激励了我们很多人，几代人尤其是年轻人。不确切是吧？那个女同学。我还以为你想发言呢。那个他说这样一句话说世界是你们的，也是我们的。但是归根结底是你们的，你们青年人朝气蓬勃，正在兴旺时期，好像早晨8、9点钟的太阳，希望寄托在你们身上。
Дорогие студенты, основатель КНР, председатель Мао 17 ноября 1957 года на встрече с представителями иностранных студентов в Московском университете сказал: «Мир принадлежит вам, так же, как и нам. Но в конце концов он ваш. Вы, молодые люди, полные энергии, в расцвете сил, как солнце в 8 или 9 часов утра. Поэтому мы возлагаем надежду на вас».
现代科技的飞速发展和经济联系的日益密切使当今世界成为一个地球村，全球化的趋势不可逆转。各国青年人之间有必要通过加强交往和沟通，促进不同文明、文化、价值观的交流和融合，这有利于实现各国之间的友好合作、共同发展和繁荣，也是维护世界和平稳定的有效的方式。
Бурное развитие современной науки и техники и экономические связи заставляют сегодняшний мир стать одной глобальной деревней. Человечество движется к абсолютной необратимой глобализации. Молодым людям из различных стран необходимо посредством укрепления обменов и связей содействовать интеграции различных цивилизаций, культур и ценностей, чтобы быть благоприятным условием для осуществления дружественного сотрудничества, общего развития и процветания между странами, а также эффективным способом обеспечения мира и стабильности.
一带一路建设以共同发展和互利共赢为目标，是中国向国际社会提供的公共产品，是进行全球治理有效途径。它的主要方向之一就是营造沿线国家的民心相通工程，这既是倡议的重要内容，也是倡议顺利实施的必要的保障。
Строительство одного пояса, одного пути взяло за цель совместное развитие, взаимный выигрыш. Это общественное благо, которое Китай предложил международному сообществу. Эффективный способ для введения глобального управления. И одним из главных его направлений является сближение народов. Это и важная составляющая, и необходимая гарантия для успешной реализации инициативы.
令我们高兴的是近些年来中哈青年人交往的规模、方式都在发生了可喜的变化。两国留学人员的数量在快速的增长。据去年的统计现在哈萨克斯坦在中国的留学生大约到 1.4万人，而中国在哈萨克斯坦的留学生大约是1300人。但是呢，近年来这个中国在哈留学生数量在急剧的增加两国留学人员的数量快速增长，希望到对方国家学习语言和专业、研究文化的青年人越来越多。迪马西我们都知道是吧？迪马西的那么迪马西现象说明了许多问题，也反映了许多需求。
Мы рады, что в этом году произошли отрадные изменения в масштабе и способе обмена молодыми людьми Китая и Казахстана. Быстро увеличивается количество студентов в обеих странах, все больше становится желающих обучаться языку и профессии, исследовать культуру друг друга. Феномен Димаша многое объясняет, отражает множество потребностей.
中国在哈萨克斯坦开办的孔子学院数量为中亚最多，仅阿拉木图就有2所孔子学院，一所就在我们这个阿里法律比大学孔子学院这个是在中亚的孔子学院中开办的是比较好的，在哈萨克斯坦一共有5所孔子学院。那么中国越来越多的高校和研究机构纷纷开设了哈萨克语专业和哈萨克斯坦研究中心。
В Казахстане открыли самое большое количество институтов Конфуция по Центральной Азии. Только в городе Алматы открыты 2 института Конфуция. Один из них находится в Казахском национальном университете имени Харари. Все больше и больше китайских университетов и научно-исследовательских учреждений один за другим открывают специальность казахского языка и центры исследований Казахстана.
两国包括这种互换留学生、开展共同课题研究在内的校际合作规模显著提升，内容不断的丰富今年呢，中国一些高校师生到哈萨克斯坦开展实地考察和调研，开创了两国青年人交往的新方式。在不久之前上海外国语大学的10名学生到这边搞了大约半个月的田野调查收获颇多，也吃了不少的苦
Значительно увеличивается масштаб сотрудничества между учебными заведениями 2 стран, в том числе обмен студентами, проведение совместных научных исследований. Непрерывно обогащается содержание. В этом году преподаватели и студенты нескольких китайских университетов прибыли в Казахстан для исследования и изучения, тем самым создав новый способ обмена молодыми людьми между 2 странами. Например, недавно 10 студентов из Шанхайского университета иностранных языков прибыли в Казахстан.
可以说中哈两国高校培养的不仅仅是各自和两国合作所需的人才，也是未来丝绸之路经济带的建设者和参与者。这不仅使我们回想起为什么当初共建丝绸之路经济带的倡议的提出，恰恰是在我们哈萨克斯坦纳扎尔巴耶夫大学这样一所非常知名的学府。我认为这里面有着非同一般的含义 寄托两国元首对青年人的这种殷切的期待。
Можно сказать, что вузы Китая и Казахстана взращивают не только необходимых для себя и сотрудничества обеих стран талантов, но и будущих строителей и участников экономического пояса шелкового пути. Это невольно заставляет нас вспомнить, почему инициатива изначально была выдвинута именно в таком известном учебном заведении, как Назарбаев университет. Я считаю, что в этом есть особенно скрытый смысл, который передает возложенные главами двух стран ожидания на молодых людей.
随着“一带一路”沿线国家人文合作的不断深入发展，2015年5月新丝绸之路大学联盟应运而生。作为大学联盟创始的高校，阿里法雷比大学为中哈教育的交流与合作做出了卓有成效的努力和突出的贡献。今天在这里举行的大学联盟框架内的青年论坛，就是个鲜明的例证，一次独具匠心的交流的形式。
Вслед за непрерывным углублением и развитием культурно-гуманитарного сотрудничества между странами, расположенными вдоль одного пояса одного пути, в мае 2015 года своевременно появился Альянс университетов «Шелковый путь». В качестве соучредителя Альянса университетов Казахский национальный университет имени Аль-Фараби сделал плодотворные усилия и внес большой вклад в обмен и сотрудничество в области образования между нашими странами. Проводим сегодня в рамках Альянса университетов молодежный форум, и есть яркое тому доказательство, своеобразная форма общения.
借此机会呢，我向阿里法雷比大学领导尤其我们尊敬的老朋友这个Burgibayev先生表示衷心的谢意和崇高的敬意。
Пользуясь случаем, хотел бы выразить сердечную благодарность и высочайшее уважение руководству в лице первого проекта Бургибаева Казахского национального университета имени Аль-Фараби.
最后呢，祝论坛圆满成功祝各位青年学子学业有成，祝你们都能成为未来生活的引领者，未来世界的领导者。谢谢。
И в заключение желаю успешного проведения данного мероприятия и успехов в учебе всем студентам. Желаю вам стать руководителями будущей жизни, лидерами будущего мира. Спасибо за внимание.
So thank you very much, Wang Chenpin. And every youth who are sitting understand how it's very important to connect university to cooperation field research for realizing ideas of One Belt, One Road program, and corresponding with that program, our Kazakhstani Norlizhol. So, dear young leaders, now according our scenario, we should make some small exercise. We should go outside and make a group photo behind our library. Then we will come back and continue our activity. Okay? So will be plenary session, future life. Yeah. So let's go outside.
Let's go outside. It's a nice song, by the way. Ну, как называешь? Скоро будет Международный день дружбы.
Wow.
Very
good Russian.
I'm just reflecting that soon there is going to be the International Day of Friendship, so we are meeting right in time.
Oh, that's great.
I have such a calendar here, and it's telling me that in a few days, it's going to happen. International Day of Friendship. It's in Chinese.
So let's go.
Not yet. I'm hoping. I'm studying, like my daughter. She persuaded me, actually.
你有微信吗？你好。
Hello.
Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, dear students, dear participants. My name is Leki Tegenov. I am from Kazakh National University and I'll be chairman of this section. Before our work, I would like to say thanks for all of you who come here, who work here on this conference, and you are leaders, and you leaders who will change our life in near future. And I will want to say you good luck in this work, in your presentation. And I would like to say thanks for all of you. We're starting our work, and our first speakers will be from the Kazakh National University. And this Yerlan Shaykhigali and his colleagues from the Kazakh National University. Yerlan is here. And Dana Turashbaeva. 5 minutes, please. Sorry. Okay.
Okay. Good morning, dear friends, dear colleagues, dear guests. It's a great pleasure to be here in the International Youth Forum and be part of the Silk Road Summer School initiated by the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. So today we're going to talk about the green economy in Almaty city. So to be precise, firstly, we're going to talk about the importance of green economy in the Almaty and for its sustainable development. Then we're going to analyze the 3 fields which foster this green economy, and those are sustainable transport, green energy, and sustainable waste management. Finally, we're going to say the importance of cooperation in this globalized world. So why we need green energy, green economy in Almaty? First reason comes from that green economy is a prerequisite for sustainable development, which means that we can significantly improve human well-being while reducing the environmental risks. This is a very long-term project, and I think that we shouldn't expect very immediate profit from these projects. Secondly, the need for green economy is in high demand because there is an acute ecological situation in Almaty. Firstly, it is because of the air pollution. According to the Almaty urban air, the level of air pollution is 3 times higher than the normal level, which mainly have result from the high carbon emission producing transportation and the widening issue of traffic congestion. According to the recent report, the number of vehicles which was counted to be more than 600,000 units. And one more important issue is the overpopulation, and as a consequence, tremendous increase in the amount of solid waste. And now my colleague will talk about the sustainable transport and the green energy.
Almaty is the largest and most densely populated city in our country. So the objectives of the project is to reduce the growth of the transport-related greenhouse gas emission in the city of Almaty, conditional by first improving the management of public transportation and air quality of Almaty. Second, implement improvements in the efficiency and quality of public transport. The third one is to decline the number of public traffic, and the fourth one is by implementing the project, increase knowledge about sustainable transport. And sustainable green transport is a transportation system which induce which induce a minimum harmful impact on environment, such as public transportation. We have to use more public transportation instead of private transport, and also we have to make more opportunity to increase the number of walking and cycling, and also we have to use more alternative to fossil fuel-based transportation instead of in alternative energy sources, and also it's urban transport which provide a healthy lifestyle. And also, as you see, 1/3 of global greenhouse gas emission is transport-related gas emission, and also 80% of all of the air pollution is related to transport also. And if we not stop by 2030, the air pollution will increase by 75%. And one of the way to prevent air pollution is to use more public transport instead of private. And the private transport is not only the main producer of air pollution, but also it is occupy valuable public space for parking and on the road also. And the pilot projects which is fighting with this problem. First of all, it's in May, which presented in May 2014, the bus rapid transit system corridor and new bike lane. We can see this lane we can meet this bike lane in Timiryazeva, Baitursunova and Abay streets. And also the next one. And okay, and the project installs certain bicycle parking tax. And as we see, the advantages of bike lanes is more than motor roads. And also by ditching the car and combining walking, cycling, and also public transport, daily mobility alone can provide 30 minutes of physical activity, which is recommended by World Health Organization. And what about green energy in Almaty? The Energy Minister of Kazakhstan announced 2017 to be the green energy year, with 37 new projects, and also one of the and also our Kazakhstan with its President Nursultan Nazarbayev are planning to achieve 40% of total energy to be generated by alternative sources of energy like wind, solar, and hydropower. And also in 2013, the government of Kazakhstan adopted the energy efficiency strategy. And also in this year, government of Kazakhstan adopted a new law on supporting the use of renewable energy sources. And about hydropower, about Almaty city, hydropower has enormous renewable energy potential, particularly from wind, solar, and hydropower plants. As you see, Almaty is very rich by its water, by its rivers, so it's very suitable to produce hydropower energy in our region. So in the period from 2007 to 2010, the Almaty region have introduced 5 small hydropower plants with a total installed capacity of 20 megawatt. And also we can meet a large hydropower plants in Kapchagay on the river, Ili River, and Moynak plant on the Charin River. And also about solar energy, the southern part of Kazakhstan is very suitable to produce solar energy. So Almaty is situated in the east-south part of our country. So there is 2 megawatt solar power plant near Almaty. And the last one, it's about wind energy. Also, Kazakhstan geography, including Almaty, is very suitable to generate wind energy, and because of it, there are a lot of wind plants near Almaty region. For example, it is Jungar Gate, 600 kilometers east of Almaty, and Shiluk Corridor, 100 kilometers east of Almaty. So
talking about the sustainable waste management, this has two main objectives. First one is to reduce the amount of waste and to regulate the waste disposal in a sustainable way. The first municipal waste processing factory was first built in 2007. The Vtorma ecology plant covered about 90% of the city's utilization municipal solid waste. And in Almaty, we have 29 companies which focus on the recycling of paper, plastic, medical and equipment wastes. In 2015, there was launched a pilot project of 400 underground containers which have separate collection of solid waste. To tackle the problem of air pollution, the company Biahim established 3 gas stations which provide ecological gas, which is the bioethanol. So to conclude, as we all know, the climate change, I think, is the global issue, and I think no country can escape from this problem. And to tackle this problem, we all should have to cooperate, but to cooperate, we should know each other better. And I think the Silk Road Summer School is the best, is a very good illustration of this, and it has a great, it is a great platform to exchange between students knowledge, cultural values, and language, and to establish also the networks. So I think that we can get a dual effect if we collaborate our effort to reach sustainable development. Since the globalization is inevitable, world only has, I think, only has one choice to cooperate. And Kazakhstan and China, I think, can both benefit from this collaboration, as well as other countries along the One Belt, One Road initiative. I think today's world is more about is not about living alone. I think it's about to live together. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Erlan. Question, please. No questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
And our next speaker is from the Nazarbayev University, Aydana Tlyukin. Is she here? Okay, good. Okay. 5 minutes, please. 5 or 6 minutes, that's enough.
Okay, we'll be short. Good morning, dear ladies and gentlemen. My name is Miras Ileshev, and this is my colleague, Aydana Tlyukin. We are the students of Nazarbayev University, and before starting our presentation, we wanted to ask you a question. What do you think of when you think of a climate change? Is it the polar bears, or is it the glaciers that are melting in the Arctic Sea? Well, what we're saying today is that when you think of a climate change, you should think of cities. Why cities? Because cities are the main reason of this climate change. They produce more than 75% of a total CO2 emission around the world. And CO2 is a carbon dioxide, which is a greenhouse gas that significantly causes the climate change. It is produced when we burn a fossil fuel for our electricity, for our transportation, or even for our industrial purposes. And knowing all these things lead us to a thought that every city in this world should strive to reduce the amount of CO2 emission. Every city in this world should try to be more smart, more sustainable, developed. And that is why in our today's presentation, we wanted to focus on Astana, the capital city of Kazakhstan. And we wanted to tell you how Astana is becoming more sustainable these days. Today, we wanted to discuss with you three things. The first one is the development of renewable energy use in Astana city. The second one is the development of sustainable transport system in Astana. And the last one is waste management in Astana city. These are the three main directions that's how Astana is becoming more sustainable. So let me begin with the first one. I think everyone here knows that this year Astana is hosting an international exhibition called Expo 2017 Future Energy. And by the way, most of us will visit this exhibition as a part of our summer school program. Well, I believe that this exhibition is extremely important for our country, for our society, because it promotes the overall environmental education among the citizens. And it is also a platform where more than 100 countries can present their latest innovations in the field of future energy. It is a place where scientists, researchers can discuss the solutions for the current environmental problems. Well, Astana is not just a city that promotes the ecological, environmental, sustainable way of living. It is also a city that produces an equipment that is based on the environmentally renewable energy sources. In 2012, in Astana, there was founded a company called Astana Solar that produces solar batteries in our city. These batteries have capacity of both 50 and 100 megawatts. And these solar panels are considered to be a very high quality European standard, and they are already used in many fields of Kazakhstan industry. Now, my colleague will talk about the sustainable transport system in Astana city.
Just only 2 minutes, please.
Now that we have talked about development of green energy, let's turn to the sustainable transportation system. Well, Astana is oriented onto development of public transport system with decrease of private cars. One of the most innovative projects in Astana is LRT, light railway transport, which is important for the city because it both releases stress on the roads and is a green vehicle because it is fed by electricity on overhead wires. By the way, it is constructed in a collaboration with Chinese company. Another important project that also promotes healthy lifestyle is Astana Bike, where anyone can rent a bike for a very low price. We also have several green vehicles, which are like electrobuses and eco-taxis working on gas. So like all of these projects aim to make public transport more popular, more convenient to use. Well, now let's turn to another crucial point, waste management. In 2017, Astana is planned to have a new green waste management plant. It will transform rubbish into biomass fuel so that the waste could be reused as a green energy. Interesting to know that the plant itself will also be relying on as much as possible on green energy. In addition to that, every district in Astana has its own special separated boxes for different types of special waste, such as energy-saving light bulbs, plastic, paper, and others. Okay, so now in conclusion, today we have talked about the main directions of sustainable development in Astana. Transport, waste, and green energy. Thus, now you're acquainted with current and future perspectives in the capital of Kazakhstan, Astana. However, it is important to mind that sustainability is not an issue only of governmental institutes or cities. It is work of all of us. Therefore, we would like to conclude to end our presentation with the quotation of American popular economist Jeffrey Sachs. We need to defend the interests of those whom we have never met and never will. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Haydani. Thank you very much. Colleagues from the Nazarbayev University, questions, please? Okay, good. Там есть один вопрос.
Can the city do or how can do to actually change people's cost of not using public transportation or saving energy? Because I think that's the most important thing dealing with this situation. Because we can never develop enough. So we want to use more when we have them. I think the most important.
Well, talking about public transport, as I have already mentioned, it is important to make public transport more convenient, more popular, more comfortable to use than private cars. Because like of traffic jams, because of safety, because of all of these issues, public transport should be like more convenient for people. Therefore, I think thus we can change the people's minds to turn from private cars to the public transportation. And green energy also like increasing the education of people, increasing their overview about energy.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And our next speaker is from the Beijing, from the Beijing Capital University and Beijing Economic and Business University. That's Mr. Hugh Ting and Zhang Yin. I'm sorry for my pronunciation.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's our honor to be here to give a speech on the green economy and sustainable development of Beijing, China. I'm Zhao Yanyu from Capital University of Economics and Business. This is Xu Ting from Capital Normal University.
Well, I think many of you know the three national strategies put forward by Chinese President Xi Jinping. The three strategies are Belt and Road and Synergetic Development in Beijing, Tianjin, Hebei. And another one is the Yangtze River Economic Belt. So today we will introduce the Synergetic Development in Beijing, Tianjin, Hebei. Beijing has played an important role and also improved both economy and the environment in the three cities. So first, let me show you the background of the strategy. The three cities are connected together as Beijing, the capital of China, in the center. Firstly, the transportation of these three cities are developed. They are connected by convenient railway. And secondly, the three cities are nearby Bohai, one of the four major cities in China. So the position is very important. And thirdly, about the area and population. The area of these three cities is totally 216,000, and they are also kilometers, and there are about 100 million people live there. So both the area and population is in a large scale. And what's more, these three cities play an important role in stimulating economic growth. But on the other hand, there are also many negative aspects restricting the development of these three cities, including air condition caused by the large-scale consumption of coal. So later, my partner will talk about it. So in 2014, President Xi proposed the national strategy, Synergetic Development in Beijing, Tianjin, Hebei, to promote both the economy and the environment of these three cities.
And now I will give a brief introduction to the restraint factors of these three cities' sustainable development. Most importantly, in the economic sphere, the industrial structures of the three cities are unbalanced. as a significant indicator of problems in sustainable development. Up to 2014, Beijing, as the capital of China, has entered into the post-industrial era and is dominant in the development of third industry. At the same time, Hebei is comparatively good in the first industry, but is poor in others, while Tianjin needs more chances to improve its industrial structure. Also, the resources like the labors and raw materials are unevenly distributed. Secondly, we can't ignore the increasing pressure on ecological development in the central area of China. In these three cities, the water deficit, wetland atrophy, and land shortage are bottlenecks of sustainable development. Last but not least, the social problems, the unbalanced population distributions do harm to the environment, resource, and social harmony a lot.
So the government has taken measures to solve these problems. Firstly, to improve the air condition, one of the most effective way is to replace coal by electricity and gas. Secondly, to carry out comprehensive improvement of water pollution so as to clean sources of water. Besides, there are also 3 pilot projects carried out by the government. So one is the eco-compensation mechanism pilot between upstream and downstream of Luan River, a river rises in Hebei province. One is to develop pilot greenhouse gas emission rights trading system in an effort to encourage carbon emission reductions. And the third one is to promote the development of green supply chain in Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, which is a market-based environmental management measure. Industry leaders buy environmental friendly products so as to achieve the sustainable development of the whole industry system.
In the past 3 years, the strategy has made great achievements in several aspects. Economically, Tianjin banking industry total assets has increased by 33%, from 3.6 trillion to 4.8 trillion. The upgrading of industrial structure is promoted, and emerging industries are booming. With the support of government and regulators, the financial institution system is optimized a lot, which made the financial industry take a larger percentage in total GDP. Relying on the port of Tianjin, the financial service region becomes more diversified and open to the whole world. China Banking Regulatory Commission has published green credit policy aimed to draw the funds into energy conservation and clean energy fields. As for the environmental aspect, several reservoirs in Hebei province has initiated cleanup work on a broad scale after the severe water pollution caused by fish farming in cages. 3 main ecological projects have been advanced, including the treatment of windy and dusty source in Beijing and Tianjin, 3 North Shelter Belt system.
So as you can see, this strategy has greatly improved both the economy and the environment of these 3 cities. So we believe that not only this strategy, but also Belt and Road and Yangtze River Economic Belt will also promote both economy and environment greatly. So to conclude, to find more effective solutions, there is a long way to go, and we are the future. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Qiu Min and Chang Yuqing. Thank you very much. Your question, please. Okay.
As you're promoting the sustainable development in China, I wonder what kind of challenges or difficulties that you may think that the government may encounter in the process.
Thank you. We think that one of the problem is the large scale consumer of coal. As you can see, we have mentioned before. So the government is trying to replace the coal by electricity and gas. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And our next speaker is from the Hong Kong Poly University, Miss Chang Qing and Chou Yang-yu.
Salam. We are the students from Hong Kong Poly University, and I'm Chotakyu Erica, and this is my partner Chen Qi-Qing Wendy. And our topic is from green energy to sustainable development in balance in Hong Kong. Before we started, I would like to introduce a bit of Hong Kong history and background information to you. Hong Kong is a special administration region and have a history of occupied by British and Japanese. And Hong Kong have officially become independent from British in 1997. And now Hong Kong is one of the most important financial centers. And Hong Kong was a small fishing village and produced salt. And after becoming British colony, Hong Kong has changed into a financial free port. And in 1950s, after World War II, Hong Kong had developed its own industry. And after China have opened its market in 1970s, Hong Kong have developed into a financial center. And to have these changes, and energy play an important role in Hong Kong development. So we will use it as an example to be our topic for today.
Thank you, Erica. And as we know about the background information, so let's get to know more about the energy resources in Hong Kong. So the topography of Hong Kong is upland and steep slope. And so it is not suitable for lands to have a large renewable energy system. So, and because Hong Kong also don't have their local energy resources, so importing the energy from other countries are also necessary. Although there are only a small amount of renewable energies are provided in Hong Kong, but there is also take important roles. For example, the solar energy is mainly for the maintaining for the water heating applications and the powering automatic weather monitoring and also the electrical system of building. And also the wind powers are mainly for the forming hybrid system for weather monitoring. And the last one is the hydroelectric power and biodiesel, and it's also for the electricity supply. So actually, apart from the green energy, Hong Kong has different energy plans implemented by the government, and they believe that the energy utilizations can enhance the energy saving. So they will have their sustainable development. So there are a big scheme called Energy Saving Plan. It's a long-term plan. It aims to mobilize the stakeholders in the energy saving and also promote the low-carbon transportation system and minimizing their energy input and delivering the particular type of services like transportation. This aims to achieve the energy efficiency and also conserving the energy. So, and under the energy saving plan is a scheme called Mandatory Energy Efficiency Label Scheme. It's also helped to facilitate the public in choosing energy efficiency applications and by raising the awareness of the energy saving in Hong Kong. So take examples, the people buy a product with grade 1 energy label is mean more efficiency in the market than the one with using the grade 5 energy label. So, so you may wonder, is that effective on those schemes? So I had taken research. So this is about the previous energy saving plan. It saved about 11% on the energy consumptions of the government buildings since 2003. And the investigating in energy saving system is a major public infractions, such as the cooling system in Kai Tak and it reduced 60,000 tons of CO2. And also the mandatory energy efficiency label scheme, which I just mentioned, and it's estimated annual saving for 3,000 million kilowatt hours of electricity, and also the same amount of dollars that we had just saved. So you can see the graph, and it's a better energy allocations. It's more useful for sustainable development, and it enhance to the reduce the CO2 emissions, and it leads to environmental friendly and more cost saving. So I would like to take an example. I would like to use our universities. So we have our school may have some investment of environmental friendly electric vehicles, and it's a solar energy ones and with the electric and air conditioning. So I would like to pass to Erica to talk about the last part.
And we hope Hong Kong can do three things in the future. First, stick to the energy saving plan. Second, to fill in the gaps that were existing now. And the last, to go forward, not only about achieving the goals of the energy saving plan, but also to do more, something more. And to fill in the gaps, there are 4 areas that are need to be improved. First, the capacity building. Build a greater capacity among the professionals of provide a wide range of energy saving and green building service as demand for them grows. And the second, the social mobilization, the widening and deepening the social mobilization campaigns with target sectors. And 3, the energy data. Improving the preference of the energy data so that they can be more widely used by the public, and also collecting and compiling the building energy related data so that the government and the build environment sectors can consider the future energy saving measures. And the last, to existing building. Getting the building owners to existing building in the private sector, so to adopt the energy building management. And to go forward, there are more that we can do in the future. First, mobilizing stakeholders. The suppliers of the electricity and the town gases are key stakeholders in the energy saving plan, and the commercial and residential buildings owners are the large and diverse group of the stakeholders, and many issues that need to be delivered by the mobilizers by them. And last but not least, the community taking responsibility. For Hong Kong to save energy as a whole, Hong Kong people must take responsibility. The community needs to take actions and to change their behavior of energy use, and also to be willing to invest in more energy effective products and technology. And this is the end of our present. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions, please. Okay, just only one question.
The way of Hong Kong to sustainable development and sustainable future life, what is the main difficulty that Hong Kong may face?
You know that Hong Kong is a really packed city and really crowded. So when we talk about their sustainability, it's not about using their local energy, it's about how to use it better, like the energy saving. As I mentioned, there is a big scheme called Energy Saving Plan in Hong Kong, and it's a really long scheme, about 10-year scheme, and it's mainly for energy saving. So I think the Hong Kong government is trying to make it more sustainability, to go further. I think so. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And our next speaker is from the Xi'an University, Yang Wang. Hu and Zhang Hu, please. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear students, good morning. We are the representative of Chinese students from Xi'an Jiao Tong University. My name is Yang Wenxing, and I'm Vicky. Okay. Today we are going to talk a little about the solar energy in Western China. Since it's our first time in Kazakhstan, and we think that there are some geological and climatical similarity between Kazakhstan and in Western China. So there's an abundance of the traditional resources like natural gas in Western China and especially in Kazakhstan. And also we are working forward to the renewable energy like wind power and solar energy power. And on our second day at the Al-Farabi Kazakh National University, we visit the greenhouse in our campus, in this campus, and which impressed me a lot. So we would like to introduce you something about the solar energy in this in the Western China.
Okay, thank you, panel. And firstly, let me give you a brief introduction of the present situation in Western China. Western China has rich natural resources such as coal, water, oil, and water resources. And for instance, the gas reserves accounts for nearly 80% of the total reserves in our nation. And the development of the advantageous energy industry in the Western region is not only reflected in the ownership of a corresponding superior energy resources, but also it has a variety of new energy resources such as wind energy, biomass energy, and solar energy. And among this new energy, solar energy is recognized as the most abundant clean energy. So, look at this map. It shows the distribution of the solar energy in China. So the closer the color is to the red, the richer the solar power is in this region. So it is easy to conclude that the Western China has rich resources in solar power. According to the statistics, it has on average over 6 hours sunshine per day, and the total sunshine duration is about 1,600 to 3,400 hours per year. The city has the sunshine brightly for nearly 300 days, and also the high levels of radiation. The total annual radiation is about 700 joule per square meter.
Okay, then we'll come to say something about the solar energy. And the direct use of the solar energy is one of the most clean and sustainable way. And the application of the solar energy has become an indispensable part of China's energy system. It has become very important part in promoting the development and the national economy to alleviate the energy shortage in rural and remote areas in Western China, and slow down the ecological damage. And then I will introduce you some solar energy applications, especially in Western China. And the first one is the solar water heater. And basically, we have 3 types of solar water heater. In the first one is vacuum glass tube water heater, which is the most classic one. And then to the flat plate solar water heater, and then it's the integral solar water heater. And this is the storage tank and for collect the sunshine during the daytime. And then
I will introduce you something about the solar cooker. Maybe this is something not it's rare in but it's widely used in Western China. And a solar cooker will save 15% of the fuel a year for peasant household. It can avoid cutting and burning 3.5 to 7 hectare of wild plants every year. And the price of the solar cooker is about 2,800 to 5,600 tango. Yes, tango. Maybe. Obviously, promoting solar cooler can bring great economic benefits, but it also can protect our ecological environment. And the solar cooker is widely used in northwest of China. There are more than 500,000 solar cookers are using in Gansu province, which is one of the western part in China. Then the third application is the solar house. And the solar house is the technology to use solar energy to heating rooms. And the residential, because most of the village household in the Western China are still using the coal to heat rooms during the winter. So the residential central heating annually consume about 23.5 kilograms of standard coal per square meter, and the non-central heating annually consume about 28 kilograms of standard coal per square meter. So to promote promoting the solar constructions is very necessary in the rural area of Western China. Here are some operating principles of the solar house. And the last one, the last application is the photovoltaic. The photovoltaic power generation is one of the best way to generate the clean power. And there are two kinds of photovoltaic power system. The first one is standalone. Standalone, which means the off-grid photovoltaic power system, is a solution to the remote areas without electricity. It's one of the best way to the power supply. And the second type is the grid connected photovoltaic power. The generation, this technology is a trend in the world today. And this is used in the Qinghai province, which is also province in Western China. This is our in our country. We are trying to widely promote this kind of project in the some villages. And this also is a 30 megawatt PV power station in Gansu. Because this kind of line is has a in this area we have a less population there and have a mass land. And this is the PV module application in construction, which means that they can put this PV module on the roof of the constructions and to generate the electricity for the house. So people in the village can be self-applied, self-sufficient. Yes. And this is our traditional constructions in the Shanxi province. It's named Yaodong, and it's also well used in some village like this. And the Chinese PV market, from the statistic, we can see that from the year of 2011 to the 2016, we can see that the PV total generated about 66.2 kilowatt per hour, and it occupied 1% of total electricity generation in China in 2016. And this one is the PV with the agricultural. It also will be used in the agriculture area. And then we will introduce you something about the researches of our university in Xi'an Jiaotong University.
So lastly, we'll introduce our...
2 minutes, please. 2 minutes.
Okay, our contributions to the solar power university. As we know, Xi'an Jiao Tong University plays a leading role in the energy engineering. So these are the two papers recently published in the Nature Communications and Chinese Journal of Polymer. Yeah. Let me show you the results of the paper. And EQE is the external quantum efficiency, which measures the efficiency of the solar cell. And to achieve efficient organic solar cells, the design of the suitable donor-acceptor cupoles is crucially important. And in this paper, we report a novel donor polymer that enables highly efficient polar conversion efficiencies up to 10.9%. and which is near the best PCs achievable for fullerene or non-fullerene OCS to date. So this is our presentation, and we want to say that energy is the physical basis of human existence, an important pillar of social advance and economic development. And in Greek myths, Zeus defeated the most dreaded enemy named Typhon by the lightning bolt. And then in the second industrial evolution, we used the electric power bolt. In ancient China, we recognize the sun as a kind of religion's belief. In Greek myths, there is also some god named Apollo. In Kazakhstan, we also can see the sun in the national flag. So we believe that the solar energy must be play a very crucial role in the future energy. Thank you.
Thank you. Just a moment, question, please. Just a moment. Wait, please. Just only one question, please.
You mentioned about the sustainability of development of solar energy. There are lots of research show that the village market, like in China, the development of the solar energy is clearly reduce the rainfall of that area. It affects their agricultural development a lot. What do you think? How can Chinese government can take balance between developing the solar energy and the impact of the economy?
Between the balance between the solar energy and the environment. Well, I think the solar energy is still a new energy that we are still working for. Such like the universities are still do some research to promote this technology to be more clean and eco-friendly. So I think we still have a long way to go. So I think the government of China still, I think they have already made a lot of efforts in just like. We cannot say that since the technology is not mature until now. So I think the government has already put into practice and say the results would be what, and we can furthermore to find the resolutions to the problems that appear during this process. So I think yes, is that I answer her question? Between the environment and the...
No. Thank you, Young Queen. Thank you. Thank you very much. We finish first part of our conference, and now break time. Tea break time. 15 minutes, please. Thank you very much for 10 minutes. Break time, 10 minutes. Thank you very much for all of you.
啊，我换个发型，我也头发怎么样？好看，把它关了吧。
Hello. Hello. After having tea, let us start our second plenary session. I know that we are behind schedule, so can I ask Professor Makash what time we should finish this session? Originally, it says until 11:45. So what time we can finish? Huh? Huh? 12:10. Okay, so we finish at 12:10. So so just now, I think I think all of you should be very impressed by the presentation of the 5 teams from 5 different cities. And I think the students are, extremely brilliant in making very good presentation. And I just talked to some of the students, and I find that actually they do not study sustainable development, in their university study. And actually they have done a lot of hard work in order to understand the topic. And I understand that they have attended the summer school in Xi'an, with the topic sustainable development. So I hope that have given them some insights. But I think really it's the hard work that they have done, and also the research they have done, and I think the passion that they have for their own cities that have made the difference. Because I think they have really used a lot of effort in order to understand what's the problem facing their different cities, and how do you find solutions to these problems. And I guess the most important takeaway that I get is that I think we all have problems. The world is facing a lot of challenges, and it is impossible for us to live in, cities and countries without any issue and problem. This is just simply not possible. And we are constantly faced with different issues and problems. And as we grow older and older, there are many, many other new emerging issues that we might face in future. But the most important thing is that we try to find solutions. And what are the possible solutions that we can contribute to solving or reducing these problems? And I think this is an agenda that all of you will be facing. And I'm really glad that despite the fact that this is such an important or difficult topic, but I think all of you are trying your very best to find solutions. And I hope that spirit of finding solutions to problems will be with you. And you are going to, in future, even after your graduation, whatever discipline or profession you might be in, we hope that you will be able to find practical solutions to problems with joint effort. And there is no perfect solution to problems, but we try. And I think it is only when we try and we work together. One of the team was saying that because we are in the summer school and we know students from other countries, so we can work together cross-border to solve these issues. And in the second plenary session, the topic is an intercultural dialogue for future leaders, serving the community. And I think today is an extremely good opportunity because you come from different cities, come from different countries and regions and different culture. And we hope that in the coming, in the world that you are facing today, we need to find intercultural solutions and we need to work in harmony. There are bound to be a lot of tensions and conflicts between countries, and between different cultures. But we hope that we will try to embrace diversity and we will try to work and appreciate the different culture that we are embedded. And we hope that all of you would try to learn to understand, appreciate different culture and work together. And in this session, we have 3 presentations. One is from representative of Kazakhstan students. The other one is from representatives from mainland China students. And third one is from Hong Kong students. And all of them have done some work on intercultural harmony, intercultural inclusion project. So maybe I ask, without further ado, I would like to invite the first group, Kazakhstan students, to come to the floor. Come to the platform to present. And I don't understand that the team has been to Hong Kong recently because we have just held Youth Leadership Summit in Hong Kong, and she was there, is it? No, not this team. But anyway, there were some teams from Kazakhstan that came to Hong Kong to make presentation. And now I would like to introduce, maybe you introduce your name. Yeah. And where are you from?
欢迎大家，可以认识我叫我呀，我是学生，我是学在阿尔法比大学。Good day, dear friends. Let me introduce myself. My name is Aya. I'm a student of Kazakh National University Nimait Al Farabi. The topic of my research project of an intercultural dialogues for future leaders serving the community. Да, я вырубила. Все, спасибо. Why we turn to the topic of intercultural dialogue? This topic has a history of discussion and intercultural conference and seminar of the Council of Europe and other European and international organizations. The theme is dedicated to the formation of intercultural dialogues future leaders, while regional studies in collaboration with the global and national levels. The topic assesses the effectiveness of the system species of subject of intercultural dialogues. Intercultural dialogues between the leaders of the future arrive through the prism of the informational component of the process of socio-political development of the society. In the context of globalization, many problems, previously perceived as problems of individual states, have become truly globally. Disparities in the economic development of the countries of the so-called first and third world, the problem of golden billions, has made that millions of people in search of work at a better life began to change his residence, becoming immigrants. Most of today's development countries in the 20th century finally, less it is more entities have become multicultural countries. There are serious problems of integration and adaptation of immigrants. Our values regularly is not only respect for other culture but also specific action of dialogy and cooperation with the representation of these cultures, integration of our cultures, our dialogy with them. This should be the way the modern world. Speaking about intercultural dialogy, we must understand that the religious factors is becoming more important and decisive for the sustainable development of the modern world. Multicultural Kazakhstan with its centuries-old experience of integration of different traditions, religions, and cultures. It is a history refination of the concept of the clash of civilization. Culture difference and at the sometimes the civilization unite of Kazakh is a convincing proof of the ability and efficiency of in various cultural integration. Kazakh National University in its diversity purpose as its leaders of the future for will be able to change the world for the better. Add-ons for the following programs. The program is of development of social partnership in the sphere of youth policy of Kazakh National University Nemeit Al-Farabi. Social partnership is liberty and flexible for the cooperation based on clear description of roles, responsibility and shares. The purpose of social partnership, development of social potential of students of future professional and intellectual elite of Kazakh society. The program of social partnership with student organization, the extensions of the powers of student government, the partnership in the implement of the system of promotion of students, student partnership in the work, the communication tips, implementation of social project, organization of leisure, evaluation of the quality of the educational process, participation of the project of check-in, check-out, control and mainly law and order. Also, there are the basic normative acts, for example, such as the Code of Cooperation Culture, Code of Honor of the student and the lecturer of Kazakh National University Nemeit Al-Farabi. Also important innovation social project, research and innovation project, Al-Farabi University Smart City, Aynalangda Nurlandır, Patriotic Festival of Student Men Jastарға Сенемін, 100 books, the cult of a healthy and beautiful body, Kaznu Green Campus, Day of National Cinema. Also count the social rating of students, which makes it possible to identify the best students of alma mater. Some to the trails of co-working center, which operates on the next gym. Everything that about is what makes for us the state, the university, and ourselves. We, the future leaders, need to understand the facts that in the cultural dialogues have always been necessary, but now in the time globalization, they become more and more important elements of every state. Thank you for your attention.
Can you stay and see whether we have question for her? And she was talking about intercultural integration, especially in Al-Farabi University, and you have done a lot of work in that direction. So is there any question that you would like to ask her? Just now you were talking about the youth co-working center. Yeah, co-working center. Can you elaborate a little bit on what is the concept of it?
Kazakh National University, in its developed purpose as leaders of the future who will be able to change the world was better. Adorned with the following programs, everything said about the problems of development of social partnership in the sphere of youth policy of Kazno Al-Farabi.
Okay. Yeah. Is there any other question you would like to ask? Okay. If not, thank you very much. Later on, maybe they can ask more questions. Yeah. Okay. So actually, we students from different regions, countries have been doing a lot of things. So now we invite representatives from mainland China, and they are going to talk about from Xi'an Jiao Tong University. They are talking about their effort in social integration. And also Peking University. Yeah. Oh, sorry. It's from Peking University. I read the wrong plenary session. Okay.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ethan.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ki. We are come from Peking University, also the member of the SOAR Youth Leadership Program. Today, we are more than honored to share our experience of serving the community in Kyrgyzstan. We conducted summer camps for children aged between 5 to 13 in 2 schools in Kyrgyzstan. There were 80 students in the Inovaka school and 60 in the Jabashi school. So now we got a short video about what we are doing in Kyrgyzstan. So let's see some of the happy faces for our service.
Oh, nice video. Oh, thank you. During the service period in Kyrgyzstan, I was shocked that a large proportion of students there came from underprivileged and single-parent families. And thus, they were thirsty for our love, attention, and care from us, and were extremely excited about our arrival. Later on, we held a 4-day camp and taught them how to appreciate themselves. This experience reminds me of what we have learned in our first 2 trips in Beijing, Inner Mongolia, and Israel. SOAR Youth Leadership Program provided us a wide range of opportunities to learn, to practice, and to reflect our knowledge, values, and skills in service leadership. And meanwhile, what impressed most is the formula E equals to MC squared, which means service leader should have the ability, should possess expert leadership competencies, moral character, and caring disposition. When we delivered the service, I started to understand the qualities of an effective future leader. As a future leader, you should dedicate our time and energy to engage in community service. We may sometimes feel bored, impatient, and tired, but we should always keep in mind that, and we should always adjust ourselves and keep in mind that our effort will bring rewards. For example, I met this girl during the service. Every time she saw me, she would hug my neck and climb on me like a monkey. So sometimes I was tired, so I told her to behave herself in a bad manner impatiently. However, after she gave me a sweet smile, I felt recharged and was sorry for my impatience. As I was deeply touched by my little angel's pure love, it also reminded me that patience is a very important competence when we serve. As a global leader, we would face cultural barriers when we serve in other countries. In Kyrgyzstan, we face language barrier. The children there speak mainly Kurdish and Russian, so we rely on body gestures like nodding, shaking of hands, and hug, and so on. And more often, we need to rely on our interpreters to communicate with the children. At first, we feel a bit frustrated and even doubted the impact we could make. Therefore, we kept on learning some simple dialects and simple phrases in the hope of building better relationship with the children. In one of the origami lessons, I was in a group with this beautiful girl. She folded paper and followed every step I made. We made stars, lollipops, boats, and other works hand in hand together. We did not see anything in the process, but we could understand each other perfectly. So I was overwhelmed with joy and a sense of achievement. And I understand that communication did not limit to language. From that day on, every time I saw their smiling faces and hugged them tightly, I would connect to them directly and immediately. And this precious experience taught me how caring and love enable us to communicate and overcome cultural barriers.
Okay, thank you, Ethan. Now and introduce myself again, and I'm Ki. And now I'm going to introduce my experience in the Innovaka school, another school we're doing service in Kyrgyzstan. So in the past few days, we did community service in the Innovaka school, including teaching them lessons to the kids and playing with them and spending time with them. So the theme of our lessons including love yourself, love others, love family, and love your country. Before we arriving in Kyrgyzstan, we did not see much hope for the country from the news reports or information online. When we came to Kyrgyzstan, one of the volunteers even asked us that, where do we know why there is no McDonald's in Kyrgyzstan? They say it is because McDonald's is only open in hopeful places. We also learned from the local that in Kyrgyzstan, single parents families is common and divorce rates are high, hence more of the social problems. But despite all these negative informations, it did not stop us from further understanding the country. Instead, it inspired us to think critically about the actual situation of this mystery country. Later through involvement in the school, we found that actually the actual situation is more positive than what we heard. We went through a lot of the home visits and we get along with all of the children very well. We could sense that the younger generations are eager to change their situations, and many people are striving hard to change their life and future of themselves and their family. As a service leader, we should not look at a thing for the we should look at a team from a multiple perspective rather than simply looking at a team from a single point of view. Besides, as a responsible leader, we should understand what our service target actually needs if we want to initiate change that bring long-term impact. Before we go into Kyrgyzstan, actually we want to teach them what we want is what to teach them like Chinese or any of the classes we decided, but after we arriving at Kyrgyzstan, our goal has changed. The goal for our summer camp is not to gain some short-term change. We want to give them some long-term impact. Like teaching them knowledge is not the most important goal. What we really need to do is to accompany with them and let them feel love and care, set a good example for them, and broaden their horizons. We believe our little action may change their life. The next one topic is about the connections. And this girl is my volunteer in my group named Erika. Okay, and in addition, in Kyrgyzstan, we found that the different ethnicities get along very well. Thanks to the knowledge and the experience we obtained from the SOAR Youth Leadership Program, we are very open-minded and eager to make new friends with the people from different countries through the journey. We are able to get along well with the people from different cultural backgrounds. For example, I just met Erika of Kyrgyzstan about 1 day before we start our service in Kyrgyzstan, but we formed a really great team. They are only not our translator or not our volunteer, they are one of our members. And they were our partner of our group, and they were actively involved in the lesson planning and giving us instructions in the school, in the class. We deeply appreciate the contribution made by them as a future leader who are dedicated to the community service. We should put aside the difference in our ethnicity and religious belief, work hand in hand to achieve our common goal. And lastly, I would like to say thank you to our team efforts and collaborations from the locals. We were able to bring the hope to the kids, and we strongly believe that the hope will continue to carry to the locals forward toward a brighter future. Thank you. Spasiba.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any questions that you would like to ask them? Maybe, thank you. And then later on, I'll ask all of them to come up,
thank you.
And have a discussion, okay? Thank you very much. And you can see that actually the love can transcend a lot of barriers. Okay, you come up, yeah. Okay, you can see that love and passion can, it's beyond language. Even though they do not speak the language, do not understand the culture, but I think with passion, with love, things can be changed. Okay, so the final group is from Hong Kong, from PolyU, and they are also members of the SOAR group. By the way, SOAR, S-O-A-R, means that we want them to soar like an eagle, like a bird, so that they can have a high horizon to look at things. But on the other hand, they are able to really serve the people. Okay, can you start?
Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Wita. I'm Wita Lee, Year 2 student studying occupational therapy. I'm from Hong Kong Polytechnic University. So she's Abigail Khan, and a Year 2 student studying global supply chain management. And we are very proud to be one of the students in SOAR Youth Leadership Program. So actually, in our program, we have 3 studying trips together with students from Peking University together to equip us with the competence of being ethical leaders and also to widen our horizons. So in our first trip, we went to Peking and also Inner Mongolia for our first day, for our first trip. And we have done a 1-day service over there. But to be a global leader, we are not only going to serve people in our own country and own culture. More important, we also have to serve people in different countries as well. So that's why we went to ISWA to equip us and acquire more knowledge about how to serve in different countries and different cultures. So in our last trip, which is in Kyrgyzstan, where we have been spending our last 2 weeks, we have done a vision screening service over there, and then to serve people in need. So actually, these 3 trips are actually acting like dogs in our life. So actually, these 3 trips will equip us with the ability, and actually they will connect and make influences that may not expect in every decisions we make. So take me as an example. When in the first trip, we went to Tianjin for 1-day service to serve the children there with cerebral palsy. So I have never expected that experience will influence that much in my future planning, because this experience is the first time that I have exposed to the situations that in mainland China, there are a lot of children suffering from cerebral palsy are in desperate need. I feel myself very dedicated to providing my helping hands to them and also to serve them. So that's why in many options that I can choose to serve, I choose to continue to serving them in the coming August. I'm going to the places that near Tianjin and then to serve them for 3 weeks. So actually, you can see the dots connected. From what we can experience in the previously, actually they were gonna affect our planning in the future. So sometimes people think one-day service or some short-term service may not be very efficient or may not be very useful. But I want to tell you guys is that what it influences actually is bigger than you ever imagined, because it can, more important is that it can inspire you to continue to serve. This is very important in serving others. And in our second trip, we went to Iswa, and then we learned Judaism concept, a Hebrew phrase called Tikkun Olam, which means that repairing the world. So as a global citizens, actually we all very responsible to help others and also to repair the world. And we are not only limited to serve people in our country only. So in experience in Iswa, it actually helped us to recognize and understand more about how we serve other countries. And then in our last trip, which is in the Kyrgyzstan, actually it's a credit-bearing service learning. What is service learning? Actually, service learning aims to help us to provide us an opportunity to learn to serve and serve to learn, which means that we are going to learn how to serve people while we're experiencing, and also we reflecting on the experience to learn from while we are doing service. So actually, the Kyrgyzstan trips marks the end of our journey of SOAR. But all along the SOAR trips, we have learned a lot of different things. So take an example like this one. To be a serving leader, actually it's more important to enable others to help, although we are very necessary to give a helping hand as well. So from this, what we learned actually is strongly ingrained in our mind. So that's why in Kyrgyzstan, when we find a poor family that they hardly make a living because they are very poor, but we didn't do nothing, or we didn't only just show our sympathy, but we actually do actions to help them. We try to enable and influence others to help. So that's why we make a donations. And we did some fundraising. So finally, it's very glad that we successfully raised enough money to buy a cow for that family so that they can make a living. So you see, the dots connected again, from what we learned to what we add now. So leadership, sometimes people think it may be a very vague concept, or it may not be very professional knowledge, but actually it can act as a guidance to guide every decisions that you make. Whenever you are going to make a decisions or take an actions, what you learn from leadership that it strongly ingrained in your mind is going to drive you to make the decisions that an ethical leader can make. So it is what we all expected when we're doing service. So in the following sessions, Abigail is going to share more what we have done and what we have learned in Kyrgyzstan trip.
Okay, thank you, Rita. Before my sharing, let's watch a video first. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark, you can't see. I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of. For we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me. Now, 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you. 9, 4, 3, 2, you'll be there. 'Cause you count on me, 'cause I can count on you. So this is what we do for our service trip.
So we are very delighted to conduct the service learning in provision of vision screening with the School of Optometry in Kyrgyzstan from 11 July to 22nd of July. We have served around 500 people from different ethnic groups, including the Kyrgyz, Russian, and Dongan. They are from the Jabashi village, Shepdan village, in Ivanovka village, and Tomok. While the most challenging of this service trip, it's that none of us have been to the Kyrgyzstan before, and none of our schoolmates know Russian or even Kyrgyz. And the worst thing is our service targets don't know the English either. But luckily that we managed to finish the task by providing this vision screening with the support from the students from International University of Central Asia for doing the translation work. However, but after doing this, we personally feel that there is a lack of direct interaction between us with our serving targets. We were only told to what to do and finish our checking. We thought that what we can do more to change that situation. So we started to learn more the local languages from our volunteers, like Privyet, it's hello, and Biano Pasnogomitsa, it's nice to meet you. And also Sonun is well done. And we always say this to our kids, to our serving recipients, in order to better improve our connection. So therefore, integrating ourselves into that environment, we will build a more friendly and harmonious and serving atmosphere. And this is what's also observed when we were serving the mentally disabled in Beijing. We try hard to in different ways to connect with them because due to our communication barriers. And I would like to ask, what comes to your mind immediately while you are serving a similarly good living client? Why are they here? I'm here to serve those disadvantaged, not them, right? At the very beginning of the service, we were like that. There is a girl who very uncooperative and very naughty. She was making the slow progress because she kept running away and ignored what we have told her to do. But at the same time, well, parents left her aside. We were tired of making her sit still and at the same time angry about her parents' behavior. Because they dressed well and seemed to be educated, but what they did was only spoiling their child. Sometimes we think that we do not want to serve her anymore, and then in the reality, when sometimes we face the patients are not cooperative, we became so frustrated that we lost our serving heart. However, I remember that Martin Luther King said, to serve, you only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love. So this is remind me that we met a NGO from Israel, that is the EcoPeace. They provide the clean water both in Palestine and Israel, regardless of their conflicts. So we shouldn't have any favor while we are doing the service. Well, other than the above, I want to share a story. From this, it's a cow, right? But then from these pictures, the three kids in the middle in this family were raised by their grandmother alone. Their father died and their mother abandoned when they are very, very young. They had nothing but the cow for the living. Unfortunately, this sole economic source died 1 year ago. The grandma said, I'm worrying about my kids and our living. I got no way out. This is a story from one of the family we were visited after during our service. So after hearing this sad story, is there anything that you would like to do for them? Well, there's no definite answer. Everyone has different choices, but I would like to share with what we did for them. Our schoolmates shared this story with us, and then the thoughts with us. And then they initiated a fundraising project, encouraging us and teachers to offer a helping hand. We had already raised $1,200 for buying the cow and hay for this family in only 2 days. So we are so blessed that we can see that there's nothing worthwhile than a smiling face. This is the mother, and then yeah, they become very happy. And then, so we are so blessed that to have everything that more than enough. I'm so touched by how we join hands together to help communities in need. We care for those in need despite our differences in our religious background, nationalities, and cultures. Because the only thing that we want to do is to create a better world despite all these barriers. And then lastly, other than raising the fund for this family, and we will continue to further develop this fundraising project and continue to serve those in need. We will work with the students from IUCA and to look after this family for in the future, and then also we will work together with the students from other countries to further serve the needs in undeveloped countries, just to fulfill our university social responsibility. Moreover, we will devote ourselves in response to global needs and encourage our students to care more about the community and to practice their service leadership. In the Global Youth Leadership Club, which is a student-initiated club organization. So our one-year program has come to an end, but our willingness to serve the community will never stop. Thank you.
Is there one question you would like to ask? Because I think we are short of time. Otherwise, I would like to ask a lot of questions, for this group and also the other previous groups. But I think we don't have enough time. Can I ask just one question? I want to ask you, what is your concept of leadership? Has it been changed after you take this one-year program?
Before this one-year program, I think the leadership is a leading role to lead everyone to do anything, just like a boss, and control your followers, your teammates, to do everything. But then after this short program, I found that leadership it's not only a leader, but to serve your teammates and your followers. It makes me change this way in my mind. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, so I hate to stop because I have a lot of questions that I would like to ask the students. But I think all of you should be very impressed, by all these students who are using their heart and passion to serve the community. And I'm very impressed by the way that they have changed through the process. And I think it is only through serving and humbling yourself that you are able to grow and to learn. And it says that you serve to learn. Through service, you are able to learn. And I think, buying a cow is just one of the many solutions. But at least I think the students come together, students from Beijing, from Hong Kong come together and think of, one solution that they can do within a very short time and within their limited resources. And I know that the money does not come from themselves, but they are able to, get it from their friends, whatever, in China, in Hong Kong, all over the world, and in order to buy a cow. And I think this is a very solid and concrete measure. That is a step forward. So thank you very much. And I hope that all of you, whether you are in sustainable development, you are, doing business, or you are physiotherapy or whatever, all of you, I hope that you can use your future career or your opportunities to serve the world with a serving heart. Thank you very much. So Rafi, here's your time, because I don't want to cut your lunch. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon. And I believe that I am just last person staying between you and the lunch. It's my way to say hello to you. No, 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 you know me. Unless you say properly hello, I will be not happy with the summer school students. One more time, hello to you. Hello. That's wonderful, you woke up. So my goal is a bit difficult. So as on the one hand, I have to get you to be dynamic, you know, moving for like faster with your brains, and talk about a very easy and very difficult topic. Easy topic because networking is foundation of like social life of young people. At the same time, networking is a very difficult topic because it's we're talking about from academic point of view. So what I did, I prepared a very short presentation. Trust me, it's very short, very quick. And then I will invite 3 students to share their experience, their opinions about importance of networking on the Great Silk Road. And trust me, it's actually, from academic point of view, it's a very important part. Recently, I read a book called Bamboo Capitalism, and it says in 21st century, most of the successful businesses come from networking. Take it to the United States, take China, take Kazakhstan, take many other countries. So networking is very important. So what I will do first, I would like to talk about a new concept of leadership. When you talk about leadership, we talk about what you see on the screen. And let me grab my laptop. And it's very important to talk about leadership, to be in a leadership position. However, a very important part of leadership is networking. And when we talk about networking, we talk about when you talk about leadership, let me go back. What I like when I read about leadership, one quote actually was very important and very interesting for me. I read from Forbes, idea of leadership changing right before our very eyes. So in 21st century, for you, for all of us, it's very important to think about leadership in different ways. When we talk about applying leadership, we can talk about sustainable development. And we all know about sustainable development aspects, like social, economic, and environmental. But in the middle here, we should put networking. Because when we talk to each other, when we talk about to experts in different fields, in social, in economic, in environmental, we can learn, we can bring together, we can link together many aspects of our life and our development. So let us focus on networking. It's a very simple concept. At the same time, it's very academic concept. So why do we need networking? Because we actually would like to build our world. You are future leaders. We would like to make sure that the world, our future world, looks like what we want to see it. The way how we would like to build it. Not someone from outside coming and saying, you have to do it. When someone dictates you what to do, sometimes it's, it's not a very pleasant world, and sometimes it misses many nuances and many aspects. But when you or we are together building the world, future world, it's becoming great and wonderful. So let us talk about the benefits of networking. I highlighted 3 very important aspects. First of all, when you are here, when in your classroom, when you host students from Kazakhstan, or we here host students from China, from Hong Kong, from Italy, from Russia, from other countries, we need to think about a couple of things. First of all, it's very important to develop knowledge about each other. Secondly, we have to learn about success of each other. And third, it's a very important part. We need to work together on various innovative projects to build future world, make it better. And smart networking for developing effective leadership will create like a better world And at this university, at Al-Farabi University, this university named by after Al-Farabi, he talked about ideal world and smart world where people live in harmony and live together. And I believe, and we all believe, that networking will help us to achieve it. And almost very last part of my presentation, what do we need to create more or better or more effective networking? First of all, we need to learn about opportunities from each other. Secondly, we have to create connections to and in implementing opportunities together. Number three, we need to get ideas and suggestions how to realize our ideas better. When I would remember that law of Apple, if you have an apple and I have an apple, we exchange, we still have one apple. But when you have an idea, I have an idea, we exchange, both of us have two ideas. Next is leadership. In order to promote our ideas, our ideals, and to work on our projects and opportunities. Next, helping each other to work on our projects. Today we had a wonderful presentation at previous session about social projects conducted by students for different communities around the world. And what really was nice to hear that they tried to find the ways, or innovative ways, how to help poor communities in Kyrgyzstan, neighboring Kyrgyzstan. I think it's a wonderful idea, and we need to help each other in these kind of projects to make this world better. And for last but not least, actually developing friendship and creating more connections is very important for our for making our world better. So this is my action plan for today and for tomorrow, and maybe for your entire student life, and maybe for your entire life. First of all, when you are here together with other students, and when you will be in Astana tomorrow together with other students and faculty, speak about networking. Speak about what you think about it. Number two, share your experience about networking. Share experience about your projects, about your dream projects, about your dreams. Third, ask questions. It's very important to ask questions, and I always keep telling my students, for clever questions you will get clever answers, and for stupid questions you'll get stupid answers. We have to learn how to ask clever questions in order to get clever answers and to work together on solving finding clever solutions. Third, think creatively about networking. It might be in different ways, especially in 21st century. It's not necessarily face-to-face. Face-to-face communication networking might continue in many other ways, through social networking, through media networking, through internet. And what is important today, we are here for a short time, for summer school. But in few days, many students will go home, faculty members will go to have summer break. But what is important, to take ideas home and continue working on them. And for last but not least, you can add maybe more ideas. Take names of your classmates to continue networking after this youth forum. I believe youth forum is very interesting format for communicating ideas, for communicating about different projects. And I hope it will be not like last meeting, and together we will work on implementing sustainable development goals, making the world better, making our communities better, making our universities better, and we can move forward to make sure that we have a wonderful world which we love all together. Thank you for your attention. You know, a professor cannot go without lecture, so it was a very short lecture. Trust me, I wanted to have 45 minutes. Are you not happy? 45 minutes? You want 45 minutes? Yes? No? But I was told that it should be not more than 5 minutes. And now, without further ado, I would like to invite our presenters to share experience, to share their ideas about networking. And I believe first one in the list is Aliya Sagandikova. Is she here? And I'm really pleased to introduce her, because she was in my class, MDP class, many years ago. And because of her networking skills, because of many other skills, she graduated from Al-Farabi University. And just now, just a couple of weeks ago, she graduated also from Columbia University. Welcome.
Good day, everyone. My name is Aliyah, and I did my very first degree here at Al-Farabi Kazakh National University. I'm very happy to welcome all of you in Almaty, Kazakhstan, and I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves in the city of an apple so far. Today I would like to talk about several things. Back in the days, Silk Road used to be the way, the means of international trade, economic development and empowerment, the way to collaborate and to exchange, most of all, economic exchange. The fact that all of us are today here in this room means that today Silk Road means something more than that. Today we can exchange ideas, we can grow together, we can build networks, and we can learn and study together. One of the ways that students here at Al-Farabi can learn, exchange ideas, and try themselves in different new projects and endeavors is MDP Global Classroom Program, which is the collaboration of a consortium of universities led by the Earth Institute at Columbia University. I want just to say that it's a very, very important program, and it played a huge role in my life personally. It's the initiative, Jeffrey Sachs initiative, to bring young leaders and students from all over the world together. And the format is, students usually meet twice a week. Here at Al-Farabi, it's Tuesday night and Thursday night. On Tuesdays, there are lectures streamlined directly from Columbia University. And on Thursdays, there are lectures led by distinguished professionals and different guest lectures. This program gives an opportunity for students to get to know the field better, to network and find internships, to go abroad for a semester or for a year. And I believe that more programs like that would help youth and also professors to reach another level in the educational process. And I think that I was very much impressed by the presentations that I heard today, and I hope that this is only the beginning, and I wish you all the best in your future studies. Thank you.
And now I would like to invite Yang Wen-Ling from Xi'an University and Lau Yang Yi-Fei from Hong Kong PolyU. And we are now trying to have a very innovative format. Basically, I hope we are not going to lecture you. We would like to discuss some questions. If you have any topics, any questions, any ideas, we will move with your questions when the ideas move forward. So probably I will go according to our list, and I'm really sorry for my pronunciation. Yang Wen, the floor is yours with your questions and with your ideas. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. According to this topic, I want to share something about the experience I in Almaty. Well, I think this program, because I think very thanks to the PolyU provide this opportunity for Xi'an Jiao Tong University for us to join this program to see the the beautiful Kazakhstan. And it's I'm very delighted. I met a lot of talented students from from Beijing and also from Kazakhstan. And I have a lot of talk with the students from Kazakhstan, and they share some ideas and their values about the tradition of this country and the culture of this country. There's one thing I want to mention, that because everybody knows that the visa to the Kazakhstan is very hard to get to especially for the tourists. So I think the programs at the summer school and the programs between the universities can facilitate the connection between the students from different countries and from even from the different university in China. And I'm very proud that the Xi'an Jiaotong University is the initiator of the Silk Road Region University Alliance, which means that over 30 countries have already joined the University Alliance, and more than 120 universities joined this University Alliance, which means that more and more universities in China have already realized that the importance of the connection between the universities and the students. We believe that the young generation is the future of is the future. So I think the programs like the summer schools can help the students to see the world and broaden our horizons. Thank you.
Okay, our next speaker. Sorry for pronunciation. Lau Yung Yi Fi from Hong Kong PolyU.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Faith from the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. And actually, let me introduce more about myself first. I have several experience on doing service in Cambodia and in Myanmar. And also, I'm working for student-initiated project called Connect Beyond Dream in Cambodia. So I have more idea about how we can help in those developing countries. But, you know, we have to talk together and we have to work together and exchange ideas so we can have some maybe better project generate. And from my experience, I think the most difficult point is we can not really know what is the need of the people there. Maybe we find the problem, it exists there, but do they really care about this? Is it what they want? Maybe we think their hygiene level is not that high as us, but they think it is okay. So how to get a balance from it? What we want to help them, but is it really what they want? Is it really what they want from what they want our help? So I keep rethink of this during my service, and I think the point is to communicate, to build more connection with the local people. If you ask more and if you become the friends with them, and they can tell you the true list of them. Because if I'm a foreigner and I ask them what you need, and maybe they are shy and they may not be willing to tell you what is their need. But if you are their friends and they are willing to tell you, oh, actually, I have some difficulty maybe in our school. We need more stationery, we need more books, we need more teachers in English. So I guess building connection is really important in serving. And I also have a question for you. And I think we always do some service project, but how to sustain it is the donation is enough to support the project. And we have to think of it, how can we can find a way to sustain our project. And that is the end. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. We had like three different ideas from three different people. I like idea about the experience of Al-Farabi by Al-Farabi student. I like experience of our guest student from Xi'an John Tong University. She was talking about her exchange with Kazakh students and her actually sharing her ideas about Kazakhstan. And a really, really interesting presentation from Faye, from PolyU about her experience like in social, what we call social work with communities.
Yeah.
It's three different angles, different aspects, and all of them are very important part of our students' life. And we hope in future will be even bigger. We have few minutes for our exchange. We don't want our session to be like one-way communication. If you have any questions, any suggestions, any ideas to share, you are welcome. And I would be delighted to hear something from you. Please. Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Shola. I'm a student of Kazakh University. I'm a master's student. So I have a question. What China and Kazakhstan actually, I started at Kazakhstan University and the University of Beijing and PolyU can achieve together because I can do together.
Very interesting question. Like I would say Silk Road question. Exactly why we are here together. So are you going to volunteer? Or do you want to appoint a volunteer? Maybe let's go, starting from you.
Okay, I heard the question is what can we do together? The cooperation between the universities. Yes, we are. I think the program like the summer school is very good opportunity for students to see the outside world, because I think it's. The countries in the Central Asia is still it remains some mystery to the students from China, because so I think it would be a better way for the student to know more about the culture between the Silk Road countries. Things like the summer school is one good opportunity, and then would be I think would be the communication between the students between different majors, because I heard the teacher of this university told me that some students from this university are willing to go the further study in Xi'an or in China, because they have heard some university are very advanced in the engineering or any other aspects. So I think the universities should be the pioneer to usher in the research field, things like the academic and technological things. So I think it would be a good opportunity to start from the university based. Thank you.
Next, please.
Okay. So first, thanks for your question. And I also agree with the students just mentioned. And I also think that during maybe through those forums like this conference or other the summer school, and the students from different countries can gather together and we can exchange their idea, we can exchange our thoughts, and we can also note the limitation or the strength of your countries and regions. And we can learn from their strengths, and also we can maybe we can generate some project that to improve together. Yeah, I think that's why we come together, and we want to have some innovative projects, and we want to gather what our strengths. Yes. Is it answer your question? Thank you.
Thank you. And next speaker, please, Alia.
Thank you for your question, Chopin. I agree with my peer panelists. Only one thing that I would add is probably it would be a good idea to organize not only exchange programs for students, but also for professors, so that they can exchange their teaching methods, new ideas, new approaches, especially in the modern world where the technology is not an issue anymore. Maybe exchange some even textbook materials, because I know we are like in comparison with Hong Kong University or universities in Shanghai and Beijing, Al-Farabi is a bit different, and I think we could learn from each other a lot. Thank you.
You know, one of the most influential speeches in the 20th century by Dr. King starts with, "I have a dream." Before giving floor to next question, I would just share my dream. I have a dream that I have more students in my class from China and from Hong Kong. And I have a dream that more students from my class will be able to study together with Chinese students in one space. And when we talk about academic exchange, we had recently like small workshop about it. It might be very different. It might be physical. Physically, our students go to China, go to Beijing, Xi'an, or Hong Kong, or Chinese students coming to Almaty, Astana, and other cities. But it also might be virtual. It might be via, Skypes. And right now we have new technologies. I have seen already a couple of experiments when like new technologies create virtual reality, and you see other people from 100,000 miles away, like next to you. It's like creates like how to say a feeling that someone is close to you, being physically away from you. So we can shape academic exchanges in different ways, in virtual reality, in the internet reality, and in physical reality. And I hope we'll have more opportunities. And just for students, I would like to tell, if you go out, you will see a new banner. We'll have one more session after closing this youth forum, when people together, top managers from several universities, top professors, and top administrators of international programs will come together, and we will discuss opportunities for future. And I hope we will have more diverse programs and more ideas and more ways to communicate. And I hope our dreams come true. So next question, please.
Well, if I may, and this question only to three ladies, all of us. It's a reflection. We have been discussing the international forum and future life which leaders and interesting messages. As Professor Abbasov is having dream, reflecting Martin Luther King, I'd like to get something different from you. I would like to get from you a message. You tweet it, you're on Facebook, you're on Weibo, sharing your views, ideas, we're sharing them also here. Simple message, future leaders, to your counterparts, to all of us here, to your schoolmates. Just put the idea of this international youth forum in one simple message. At least three of you, please. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vlastimil Samek. And he is probably, in other life, he was very tough professor, but with very creative questions. So floor is yours to be creative, answering very interesting question.
Start from me again.
You don't have your brief first.
Okay. One in Chinese? Yes. You can understand. Maybe it's in English. It's better. Both. Okay. Personally speaking, I want to say something about myself. Yes. I think of one purpose I joined this program because I'm a student majoring in language. I'm studying French and English. So I think the Silk Road initiative is one good opportunity for the students like studying language for getting more opportunity to get in the conference, international conference and international forums for the internship, especially for the internship, for the job market. So it would be things like the world needs us because we have different languages. We have to break this barrier between different countries to release the misunderstandings between the people. So I think in a simple message to to alleviate the misunderstandings. Yes.
Okay, friend. Thanks for your question. I guess, do you mean can we have maybe want to share our main idea after the conference? Is it? Okay. I think what comes to my mind is only when we work together, we can go further. With maybe Hong Kong is a financial hub, and with the expertise in business in Hong Kong, and also with the, I think in Kazakhstan, I think the green development here is really well developed. Yes, and I think with those strengths, and we can have some better projects, like I mentioned. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your question, Mr. Samek. As you mentioned, a tweet or a message or one takeaway from this forum, one of the takeaways might be, we are together, we act together, we struggle together, and we achieve together. So, thank you.
My time is up, and I have to close my panel. However, do you know, as a professor, I cannot go without homework. So I would like to give you homework to everyone here to write, maybe take a piece of paper, maybe even from notebook what you have in your folders, and write very short, maybe essay, suggesting what to do, what we can do together, what kind of projects you would like to see on the Silk Road, what kind of ideas you would like to put on the office desk of your top managers, of your professors, to make sure that we will have better projects, better opportunities, better communication, and better networking in future, continuing having many events after our youth forum. Thank you. And after my panel, I would like to invite for closing remarks, Professor Angelina Yen.
Okay, so Makasha, are you going, Professor Makasha, are you going to do the conclusion as well? Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I think I'm deeply impressed. I think I've spoken too much, but I think just now our UN friend Simak, Professor Simak, he was saying that future leader, future energy. I think this is a really good term, and I think the future rests in you. And I think that we are very much energized by hearing all the stories, all the thoughts. I think every single one of you, every single presentation has been extremely impressive because it is from the heart. It is not a schoolwork. It's not something, not a submission of thesis or whatever, but I think it speaks from the heart. And I would like to conclude by saying that actually in PolyU, we have formed a Global Youth Leadership Institute, and we are trying to define what is leadership. And we have a term called SERVE, S-E-R-V-E, the SERVE model. And the 5 words means serve, the S means social responsibility. And we hope that every single student will go through the program and will develop social responsibility. S, the E means excellence. We want them to pursue excellence. Excellence in relationship, excellence in personal development, excellence in academic achievement, excellence in serving, etc. The third word is R, and R means reflection. We hope that every single student will reflect, continue to reflect and to think, so that you are not just learning from others, but you are reflecting and co-creating together with us. Because you have to create your future knowledge, and the future lies in your hands. And the word V means visionary. We want to develop visionary leaders like you because we can see that you have vision and you have the vision to change the world. We start from immediate, from very small steps, just like what you have done. Just buying a cow is a very small thing, but it is already a step forward. In future, You might do a lot of things to change your country, your society, by developing policies, macro policies that can change the world. But at least you start from here. So visionary is very important. You must aim high and have your vision. Everybody must have a vision. Without vision, then you are just, going nowhere. You become a technician. You just do things day by day. But with vision, you have a direction. And then the last word is E. Means ethical. We want every single student to be ethical. You have to be an ethical leader, not just a leader who's scrupulous in gaining money. And there are many success stories all around, but we hope that every single student will be ethical. So this is the SERVE model that we have developed, SERVE, that is social responsibility, excellence, reflection, visionary, and ethical. And we hope that all students will have these qualities when you graduate. And if you have these qualities, I'm sure you can change the world. So I give the last word to our rector, Makash. You are the leader here.
So, dear friends, very nice conclusion have been done. And I would like just answer to the question made by our friend Vladimir Samek. What kind of message we should take with us after that very excellent forum? And I think nomad people like Kazakh, many thousand years ago found the answer for that question. If we would like to go fast, you should go alone. But if you want to reach more and go as far as possible, you should go with friends. So, and one of the very important mission is know how to be good friends. It means your mind, your thinking will be in one direction. A direction is the future. Future is you, your leaders. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, maybe my last remark and invitation to eat. But before invitation to eat, I would like to make a small remark. I believe we have privilege to serve students as managers, as professors. It's our privilege to serve future leaders. And we are very happy to see you last week, like a couple of last days and today, because you are wonderful students coming up with wonderful questions, contributing your ideas with wonderful projects and suggestions. In very few minutes, we will close our youth forum, but you're not going to close our summer school because it will continue in Astana. And closing our youth forum, I would like to suggest maybe one idea, maybe adding two ideas from Dr. Angelina. So it's a wonderful idea that you have your youth institute, youth center. It's really nice. You make our life easier, but probably our contribution from Kaznu side would be on our website. We'll create maybe one page dedicated to continuous collaboration, communication with all participants of summer school. And if you will contribute your ideas, your suggestions, your proposals, sharing your experience, we'll be delighted to bring it together in order to organize our next. We have even idea for winter school. Can you imagine? Minus 30 here. Today is plus 30 over there. It's minus 30. Might be in January. Maybe winter schools, next summer schools. We have ideas of having more youth forum. So if you tell us, we'll try to bring it together, all your ideas, and try to work on your ideas, making sure that next future events will be even better than it is today. And now housekeeping issues. We have to go to have lunch. Unfortunately, I have to say it's not very, how to say, from World Health Organization, not very healthy suggestion, but I would like to suggest you to eat a bit quickly. Hurry, but not too much, to make sure that we'll be here at 2 o'clock? 2:30. 2:30, okay? So 2:30 sharp, all of you must be here and already get ready to talk and to continue with the next session. Thank you very much.
At the afternoon 2:30, all the students will receive the certificate of the participants of that youth forum.
Thank you.